bit of a delay with a few people joining late. I think we still have one. We got a little bit of a short-handed grid today. 15 or 16. I think maybe 17 if someone's joining late today. As we got a few people out of the loop and on vacation or whatever they're doing at the start of the season. Starting in Britain today. We did Austria last week for our pre-season. That was pretty fun. We had a bit of interchanging weather, which is always nice to see. It makes it a lot more exciting than having a full wet race, for example. But I really wouldn't mind a full dry race. Makes things go a bit quicker, and the racing is always going to be a bit better when people can compete against each other on the drier tyres. So we're just getting going now. 15 at the moment. I think we're having one or two more join throughout the grid. I think I've set up all the audio and stuff correctly. I'm on my own today. Mr. BT is out, and I mean with only 15 to 16, it's no worries doing it on my own anyway. So just give me a second, guys, while I have a look through the settings, and I'll be right back with you. Right, okay, I think we're all good now on the stream. Let's get some details on. Don't really need a tie, we all know what everything's going to be running in this session. Looks fairly blue skies, couple of clouds, but I don't think we'll be seeing any rain anytime soon in this session. I think that's the two Williams on outlaps there. It might be the Alpines actually. There is, we got Mazel's out in front leading his teammate. I forget everything set up on the screen for you lot. Let's have the telemetry disabled for now. We'll just have this up. It should be okay. Hide UI. There we go. So we'll be on board with Mazel's for the first lap of the session. His teammate just closing in behind, and then we've got the next lap, which will be the Aston Martin of Nacho running solo today for his constructor. We've got a bit of time until he gets on his lap here in the Alpine. So what I thought we'd do, we have a look through some of the predictions for this tier, and I'll give my 2 cents on them and just find them. So that's CRC 1, CRC 2. Alright, good, here we are. CRC 3. Champion, well, speak of the devil, the most voted to be champion is Mazel, so as he comes around the last few corners now, we'll keep that in mind as he is setting his first banker of the session on the soft. He's got a nice koi helmet, nice colours to go with the Alpine livery there. Comes around in second gear, pumps it up to third to fourth, then he comes around to start his lap. He doesn't really take too much exit curb there. You don't really need to. Takes a decent chunk of apex there. You've got to really try and cut that to cut all your track down as much as you can. Goes a little bit wide on the apex in turn 3 there. Same as he does. He turns it in alright for turn 4. Comes around, hits the apex nicely here onto the first gear straight of the lap. See what his sector split will be. 27.8 at the moment. I'll be honest, I haven't done Britain in quite some time, so not too sure what the splits are going to be, what is competitive or not so far, but we will find that out as the session goes along, as the race gets going. Into Cops now, takes as much of the entry curve as he can. Nice kiss to the apex, comes onto the exit curve, seems to carry a decent amount of speed, straight up into 8. Comes across, takes as much of that apex as he can, he's hit that really nicely. Not too bad for the S's, seems to be carrying a decent amount of speed. Keeps it in 5th throughout the last. Obviously going purple after the first car of the session. As he comes on the last 2 corners now. Once again a nice apex, he's really not doing too bad here for this banker. It seems to look clean, but we'll figure out whether it's quick or not when he crosses the line now, as he comes through the last few corners and crosses the line for a 128.8. to set the session off, and Digweed just pips him his teammate as he comes across the line, and I think the next car to come across the line is the Aston Martin Nacho. He's got full battery, so it looks like he's backed out of his lap. We've got a car out there. We've got Warrior Huntsman in the barriers coming out of Stowe. It's unfortunate for him. Comes across. We got 2 debuts today with Will Simple and Bailey Fox. They haven't yet competed in Cone, so it'll be interesting to see where their pace is. 2 good friends of mine. Bailey was saying he was struggling with Britain not too long before I started this stream, so that'll be very interesting to see how he does in the race. Will Simpson, I'm pretty sure he's a decent fan of the track. A lot of people setting decent laps now. We've got Fandango, who I've missed, who's set a 1:28.0, which is half a second clear of the competition at the moment. Goes Gioshin is also putting a lap time that is, it's not competitive for pole, but it's competitive compared to the rest of the grid. And one massive moment there for Bailey Fox as he comes across the line. Sets a valid lap, surprisingly, after extending so much due to his bit of fishtail. And only set to 28.9. We've got Harvey on an out lap now. Only ever one to do so as he starts to come across the line. This isn't validated there, but it doesn't really matter. He's only worrying about this lap right now. Not looking to take some really nice apex there. You can get really close to that red curve. It's a bit unsettling if you go over it, but if you just kiss it, it does give you a nice bit of rotation. And oversteering into it too much. Let me mute my phone a sec while I'm here as well. Don't want to hear them Discord pings going off for the rest of the stream. Lucky I caught that, I'd have my headphones on. Nice tight line through there. I do tend to keep a nice tight line through there. A lot of people like to go a bit wider, but I think the traction can be tricky there, so it's all about personal preference. Takes a nice amount of exit curve there, coming into Maggots and Beckett's, just touching the red sausage curve there. As he comes around, doesn't really get any apex in the last section of Beckett's, but we'll see how much speed he carries now. So it's a 105.9 on his first 2 sector splits. We'll see where this puts him in comparative to the rest of the grid now. As he's coming through the last sector, really doesn't extend much there. He's going to be losing time quite heavily on his exit compared to his competitors who have been carrying the pace around those corners. Pretty clean last few corners, just taking a lot of curve there. And it's a 130.8, not very competitive at all. Didn't seem to be extending too much, but hopefully he can do better on his next few laps. FRLG. Hartnell, the only person to not set a lap in this session apart from Warrior Huntsman, who did crash out very early on, so unable to set a respectable lap so far. But plenty of time for that. He seems to have come out later than the rest of the grid. We've got others coming out already on this second run, like Digweed. We did set a decent lap at the start of the session, but got absolutely outshone by Fandango just under our noses. Very funky helmet design there. We know Digweed, or as I know, MPO has always been a very good designer of helmets when it comes to games like GT and GT7. So it doesn't surprise me that he's got quite a nice lid for this race. Really pushing it on his outlap here. It's really interesting because with the new tyre temps, usually you'd have to be a bit careful with the wear. You still have to be careful with the wear. It's a bit of a damn if you do, damn if you don't when heating up the tyres so aggressively on your lap, because the wear will end up dropping you time throughout your lap as the degradation comes along. But getting them up to temp is a lot harder now since the patches. But I think Digweed will do just fine getting them up to temperature now as he comes across. Oh, he's got his teammate. No, it's not his teammate, sorry. That's a Williams, I'm not sure of who. Spun across the line there, which is quite unfortunate. I'm guessing it's Jay Hartnell. I'll try and confirm that in a bit, but sticking on board with Digweed now as he comes around. Takes a nice apex there. He does kiss the red touch scale. We've seen a few people have been doing this session so far. Yellow's coming out of the pits as we've got people slowly coming out for their second run. Still 8.5 minutes left in this session for people to compete against the others. Goes purple in the Sector 2, but I mean everyone goes purple in the Sector 2 across the last 3 renditions of the Formula 1 games. So you never know what's true and what's not until you look at the numbers. But it's going to come into cops now. Yeah, nice apex there. Nice exit as well. Tries to keep it in 7th, he does. Doesn't downshift into maggots and saves it all for the latter part of the corners. Now some people might like to downshift once into maggots and then it takes a bit of the load off into Beckett's. But he seems to be doing alright so far. I probably should be keeping an eye on his delta, because I don't even know if he's up or down. And he must be down because he's coming to the pits, so we can get off of him now. And let's take a look at Fandango, who's just starting his lap. Nice helmet there, really matching the red stripe tyres at the moment for the AlphaTauri man. We didn't get to see much of Fandango in the first race, the pre-season race. Crashed out very early, so we didn't really get to see any pace. He did qualify well though, if I remember correctly. So hopefully he's not following the same footsteps as he did last session. You see a McLaren there just slowing down to let him through, not getting in the way, which is what we love to see. Not something we saw last week with Wild Dog, with a bit of a blockage, but this is where it counts now. This is the real season race. See if he downshifts into the first corner. He does. So yeah, I think I do that as well. So I like to take the load off, going into Beckett's and drop it into a low gear just to get that rotation and then really slam on the power as soon as you get the car turned in. Comes up now, brakes just at the curb in. Doesn't really hit the apex, but he gets a nice exit speed. That's for sure as he comes now into the last few corners. Bit of a glitch there where we saw a car overlapping him, but he takes a nice apex. Comes around, swings it right around, and it's equal to his time, pretty much. It's really good for his consistency, but it's not any good for improving his chance of keeping that pole position. Baza Fox has just set a very respectable time compared to the rest of the grid with a 28.4, whereas Will Simpo, who will be in a party in cahoots with him, not in cahoots, but they'll be in a party talking about the race. He's in P8 at the moment with a 129.3. So still quite a lot of time for him to find across the track. Gutiérrez Fillon, 7/10 down, maybe not. I think the Delta was giving me a bit of a shorthand there. I think everyone's just on in-laps and stuff now. I don't think there's too many going on. Well, Nacho was on a lap there because of the pace he took cops. But it looks like we just caught him going wide and he got invalidated, rightly so. Trundle has joined, there we go, there's a 16th man for the session. Obviously doesn't call them Dutches with the lobby because I really can't be bothered for that. Let's have a look at the stream, see if everything's going well for a second. Let's check you on with Harvey a sec while I have a look. Right, well, it does sound like the game audio is a bit too loud, so let me sort that out for you. 1 second. Chuck that onto driver, might give it a bit of a more mellow engine sound, which will make it a bit more nicer on the ears. We'll see how this plays to your drums. I think it should be okay now. A lot of sausage curb there for Harvey on his out lap. And he's gone straight on at Beckett's there. Very interesting way of heating his tyres. Very interesting. We've got Digweed now 3/10 down on his time, which will put him somewhere closer to P3 to P5. I wonder if he's got more time to gain in the last sector. We'll have to wait and see. That is a lovely apex for cops there. Doesn't really extend too much. So maybe he could have carried a little bit more speed, but keeps it in 8th there. Drops it down 2, drops it down 1 more, slams the power on in 5th, shorts up into 6th, comes out and slams the gears up all the way to 8th for the maximum revs on the straight. awkward turning this on hot tyres, but he's he nailed it. I'm not sure if that was a bit of lag on his end, or he had a bit of a moment with the rears. But we'll find out now whether it's made a difference. And 4/10 a difference in the lap, so good compared to his banker, but still not great compared to the rest of the grid at the moment. Mazzles we've just missed, who's just come in the pits, has set a 0.2. So the person who's got closest to Fandango's reign at the moment. Everyone's like, it's a lot of people around the 0.4s, 0.5s, but after that it's a massive slope into P7 with a 29.0. Oh, what's going on there? I'm not too sure what was happening there. Indian Jesus and that Williams. That was interesting. We've got Will 4/10 down apparently, but you know, he is parked on the track, so I'm not sure how much of that I believe. Is he retired? What's going on, Will? Oh, fair enough. Nice to get out of the way. No issues there. Good to see. Trunder's in the first sector. Hasn't set a lap yet, so we'll leave him on board at the moment. Got yellow flags at the start of the lap, but I don't see any issues. I'm really not a fan of this Aston Martin, you know, it's so wide and blocky. I'm so glad I don't have it. 5th place grid penalty for Mazzles. Collision with Deluxy. That's going to be interesting. Deluxy has pulled over. So something's happened there. And he needs to get off the track. He needs to get off the track, and he does. That's not going to be any fun for Trunders, and he's gone wide because of it. He hasn't been invalidated. I'm kind of glad he hasn't, because that would be quite harsh, having to see all that dirt getting kicked up. And I think that's a bit unfortunate if he was to be invalidated there. I think he's been given a decent hand of leniency there. What's going on with Deluxy there? He's still slow. Interesting. Well, okay, that's got to be invalid. Oh wow, Trunders is really paying someone off, because he hasn't invalidated going wide twice now on one lap. Well, he can't be paying too much. He's not the best of laps, so not sure many people would be worried if it was money exchanging hands there. But I'm rambling now. Let's get on with it. Trunders Nacho next to each other. The Aston Martins, the culture, don't really like to look at. Deluxy retires in the pits, so maybe that's him thinking his paces are at its limit, or he's just a bit frustrated with what's happened. Fandango coming across the line, and look how consistent Fandango's laps have been. Let's have a look at these a second. Fandango has set 3 laps this session, and look how close they have been together. That is absolutely brilliant. Let's look at the sector times. We've got 27.866. I mean, there's hardly anything in it. 36.133. And then a 24.000. That is insane consistency. And it's at a decent pace as well, so well done to Fandango. Hopefully he doesn't wreck out in the race like he did in Austria, because he's showing really good pace here. Bailey Fox now, he's just beating his sector splits by 1/1000ths as he comes into the last few corners. Takes a really nice apex there, drops into second. It's looking alright. He had a big moment on his last lap, so maybe this is going to be a bit better. It's not a lot better, but it is a bit better. It does give him a P3 for his last lap. We've got Gautier there, smacked across the line there. A lot of people seem to be down in time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else changing there. The only person to set a lap now is Jay Hartnell, who hasn't set one yet, as he comes through the last corners. Doesn't seem to be carrying too much speed there on the break-in. It doesn't really extend either, so I don't think he's going to gain too much from this, but he goes up to P12, so he has gained something. So he's not had an absolute mare this session, just a little bit of a one, and he's actually managed to gain a few positions there, so good of him to get out and finish a lap after struggling for a few. I think that rounds it off there. I don't think much is happening now. No, Nacho was struggling on his last lap there to gain anything better than a 0.5. But I think the clear winner here, obviously in pole position, is CRL Fandango. Absolute corker of a lap there. Or corker of 3 laps, if I'm honest. They're all pretty much identical. Just waiting for Victor Mean now, I think, to retire the car. I think we're good to go. Let's have a look at the chat, see if anyone's chatting. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Nathan. S. McDonald, who is Atomic, I think. Evening. That was oh, Mazel's got the 5-place grid penalty. I thought it was Deluxe. That sting for Mazel's. He's not going to be in P2 for very long. He can see it on the timing sheets, but it's not going to be there on the grid. So Bailey Fox, the Vietnamese. I'm trying to think of some of the rhymes of Vietnamese. That sounds cool, but I can't think of one. Bring back Vietnam track. That's all I'm saying. Gets P2 behind Fandango. Digby P3. Gautier Le Felon P4. I'm confused now because I'm trying to think of where Mazel's. So Mazel's will be P6. And then, Nacho P5. And then to round out the top 10 is Will in P10, Indian Jesus P9, Victor Meat P8, and Gio Sheen P7. And the rest downwards is Trunders, Jake Hartnell, Deluxey, after having a bit of a mare, with the collision with Mazel's. We'll have to see what happens in the stewards room with that. Oui. Gautier Le Felon. DeWill, you can. You're an experienced Frenchman. I think Gautier is French. Let me know if my pronunciation's crap or not. I'm saying Gautier Le Felon. Or is it Gautier Le Felon? Felon? Does that sound alright? Forza Ferrari, says Jacob Booth. As I have a sip of my jug. Perfect, mate. Lovely. Well, I hope Gautier Le Felon makes a few moves, because I would like to say that name a bit more. I'm not gonna lie. Rolls off the tongue nice. Bailey, get out of the chat, pal. You got a race to win. Tell Willie's crap and all. Right, just looking at the Paddock Club now. All the rich people who spent ridiculous amounts of money to watch F1 from the terrace. Not jealous at all. Fun fact though, that bridge isn't there, I don't think, in real life. That bridge is concept that were granted to the devs to put in, but got delayed due to COVID. I think similar to in Hungary, we have the grandstands that are concept, but they've been concept for years, I'm pretty sure. But we've just about put them in the game. I was gonna have a look at the predictions for Tier 3, but then we got caught up in the qualifying. So let's go back to that now, because we're going to be watching a formation lap, and honestly, who cares, to be honest. We'll probably see someone get disqualified in that, but it ain't much. Right, I'm trying to find CRC III. I'm blind. Right, I see Wild Dog DNFing, so I think I'm in the right place. I am. So 9 votes for champion was for Mazel's, and it's not a good start for him after getting a 5 grid penalty. He had a good qualifying. Couldn't be up to pace with Danny, but still did decent. I don't know if it was his fault, the 5 grid penalty, so we'll have to wait and see. Riordan was second, most voted for champion, which is 6. Indian Jesus, Wild Dog, and Underboss all voted 5 times to be champion. Runner-up top vote was Indian Jesus. So there was a few people that thought he'd be champion, but there's a lot of people who think he'll be vice. Mazel's just blowing with 1 vote less at 6. And Zenon and Leon were third with the 4 votes to be runner-up this season. Biggest bottle jobs. I mean, yeah, that's a big vote. Big difference in votes there. Wild Dog's got 18. He's I was going to say a joke then, but I'm going to hold that back, so I might get in trouble. Zenon had 6 in P2 for biggest bottle job. And Fandango had 5. I mean, to be fair, Fandango did have a bit of a bottle. Well, I say a bit of a bottle. It was a major bottle in Austria. Couldn't get a few laps in without smacking a wall. So we'll see if that holds true going into this race. I hope not, because his pace has been been looking really good. And I want to see it for the rest of the race. I don't want to see him run off to the distance, like, but I want to, you know, I want to see some class. Most DNFs, I mean, it's another whitewash. Wild Dog, he's got 16 votes. Zenon's got 6. I mean, it's pretty much the same vote. And then third is Fandango, it's just the same vote again. But he's got that guy Draper next to him with 4 votes. Best newcomer, I was disappointed with this. I had to back my boys Will and Bazza because they're my boys. But the best newcomer has had 17 votes with Victor Mean. Lester the Twig second with 15. Will Simpo with 9, which is good to see. Bailey won't be happy with that. Qualifying Merchant, Wild Dog, 13 votes. Second to him was Fandango and Indian Jesus, 5 votes. Another big difference there from P1 to P2. And then for third, we got PC Zenon with 4. First to get a race ban, I mean, he must be shooting clean because it's another whitewash for bloody Wild Dog, 24 votes. Then it's Zen and Trunders, most OP team. Lennon? Who the hell's Lennon? Leon, Indian Jesus. Second was Wild Dog and Under the Boss. Third was Mazzles and Digweed. That is all the predictions, and we've perfectly fitted it in for the race. And I'm all out of breath, but now the race starts, so whoops. Not much audio here, but it looks like Fandango. Oh, Fandango's had an awful start. Look at that. Bailey has gone right into the lead as we see everyone keeping it clean so far. Did I speak too early? I'm not too sure. Oh, Bailey's had a cracking start, but Digweed has pulled ahead there. Let's get the position changes, see what's going on. We've got a lot of people on mediums here. Oh, we've just seen a spin of Gauthier Le Felon, which we did see a lot in Austria. He did have a few spins. A lot of the Ferrari powered cars did. Deluxe not having a great start as well. We can see him at the far back of the grid there. Bailey has just pulled out of DRS already. Quite a big gap. Tune is still building. Digweed just following behind. He's got a little bit of a gap to Fandango. Awful start for Fandango off the line there. I'm not sure what happened. We didn't really have much audio going into the starting lap. And the angle wasn't too great, to be honest, to see the difference in momentum. But yeah, he's dropped down 2 places in P3. A few big winners in this lap. We got Warrior Huntsman gaining 4, Harvey gaining 5, just creeping up behind his teammate Will Simbo, who is making a move on the Aston Martin. Is he going to make it hold as he comes round side by side? Nice late break in there, but he tries to go for the switchback. He's going to have the nicer exit. Oh, but his teammates sneak through as we see Trunders having a spin there. Luckily not impairing any of the drivers behind him. But yeah, that is unlucky for MSC Trunders. Will Simple was probably not expecting his teammate there to come up right behind him and sneak him. I won, that's for sure. Mazzle's keeping P6 in the moment. We've got Digweed. Whoa, Digweed there, getting overtaken by Gio Sheen. That was interesting for a second. I think all the gaps are starting to level out now, to calm down after that little bit of a hectic first innings of the race. There's a gap of over a second from P6 to P7 already. You see Digweed goes wide there. Bailey is nice and clear so far. We've got Victor Mean, who is quite close to Digweed. Not too close, as we see some of the blue cars ahead kicking up dirt. I'm not sure which one of it was. I think it was Gio Sheen. Yellow flags there, and Warrior Huntsman's out. Let's try and catch the... Oh, wow. What has happened there? Wow. Bit of carnage. We've got a safety car, virtual, not full. And we've got position changing, and we're all playing statues because the game don't know how to bloody do deltas. Bailey's pitted off the softs. Oh, Bailey's on the softs. Makes a lot of sense now how he got that start then. Well, this is good for him. If this can last for as long as the pits do, he's made use out of it, but I'm not too sure. Where Huntsman has left. He's on the hards now, Bailey. Don't think they'll make it all the way, personally. But if there is another safety car, it'll put him in good stead. Interesting to see what happened to Huntsman there. Don't think Huntsman crashed out too early in the Austria pre-season race. Right, so we've got... See if we've got any messaging going on in the chat. See if we can get a feel for what's happened. Natural predicts Danny for the win today. It doesn't surprise me, the pace looks pretty good, and we've gone back to racing as I'm a bit distracted there trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, what's going on there? Indian Jesus is off. Has he just come out the pits on cold hards then? Yeah, I think so. Not a good start of the race for him. We've got side-by-side action with Trunders and Bailey. Bailey's hards are going to be pretty cold. Oh my god, is he going to stick a nose at cops? I think he knows better not to. You can really tell them hards are struggling to warm up. He's lost 10 positions after trying that strategy. He's not too far behind from the rest of the pack. And he's already made a pit stop, so just put him in good stead for strategy later on if there is another safety car. But interesting to see how it plays out though. Got Harvey, who is the closest to another driver. We've got Bailey Fox just creeping up still on Trunders for now. We've got Mazzles hovering about 4/10 away from his teammate, actually, Digweed. I wonder if they're in cahoots in a party. I know Digweed and Danny will probably be in a party together. Not too sure if the Alpine teammates will be either. Right, let's have a look at the stream, see if there's been any more comments. Yeah, tyres. I need to show you tyres. Should have done that at the start, apologies. I'm still not fully used to commentating yet. I've done it in a while. But there we go, we got the majority of the front runners on mediums. Then we've got one in the middle on hards and the rest of the bottom on hards. Starting from Bailey, going down to Indian Jesus. Don't think we got too much more going on now. Still hanging with Mazzles for the closest battle at the moment. We've got Bailey creeping up on Trunders. Trunders has got the better tyres, but I think we're going to see a bit of team play here as we see Mazzles take the position on Digweed. Digweed doesn't try to defend it in any way. I think that's just a simple up myself now, let your teammate through kind of exchange. Swings the rear a bit there on the exit. Don't really want to see that. Fandango back where he should have been on the start. We've got a spinner there, and it's Victor Me. He's going to have Will Simple cruising up on him now. Will Simple also pitting for hards under that VSC. Not much else happening. We've got Bailey, who did get very close in the last few corners there. Oh no, what's up there? Harvey spun it. Yeah, I think he spun that at turn 1 by the looks of it. Did he? No, he hasn't just come out the pits. He's still got 4 lap old mediums. He just spun it round turn 1. You can get, if you're a bit oversteer around that turn, you tried to plant the throttle where you got high fuel, it can be very tricky. It looks like that has been the case. Digweed getting very close to his teammate now. He's not going to. No, he's not. Whoa. That would have been fun though, but he didn't do it. Probably best for his team. Very close now. Basil Fox has got past Trunders. We've also missed that. But Trunders looking to come back on him. We'll come back to it because I think Digweed is going to have a pop at his teammate. So maybe he wasn't... Oh, and he's just hightailed it. He's gone too far over. Bailey Fox stays ahead of Trunders. But Digweed's just pushed a little too hard there on the inside line. Lost the grip of the rears, and that is all she wrote for now. Still plenty of time left in the race, but for that battle, that is all she wrote. Couldn't get any closer there, Trunders to Bailey. Gaps, like I said before, evening out now. Still a few people in a few trains, but apart from a few clusters, it is quite a spaced out field for only 6 laps. I do have to say. Yeah, there we go. I did show tyres. I did miss them. We got a Haas Deluxe P9, another spinner. Go to Le Filon, who is very close behind Jay Hartnell. Who's not very close behind Jay Hartnell. He's ahead of him, actually. He's not very close behind Jay Hartnell. Now, he's spun it. Very few different peaks there, up and down, in that section of commentary. But Deluxe's got so much overspeed now. Doesn't go for the move as he shouldn't. It's a bit too dangerous there. You've just seen him spin. His tires are going to be a bit cooked. Just make the move on the DRS and call it a day. Trying this 3-second penalty there. Let's see, is he going to be pushed? Look at the absolute, you see the heat waves just coming off of that engine. Puts it in perspective of how hard these engines are being pushed each race. And is that a little bit of contact or correction from Gautier Le Filon? Deluxe derating as well. But he does get the move done on the straight as I suggested. Gautier just behind him. Riordan in the DRS of Nacho. Nacho not having that advantage from anyone ahead of him, being the lead of this very short train. And he has got the wing open, so he'll be gaining a few hundredths, tenths, depending on how much battery Nacho is using. He seems to have quite a lot of battery. He has about 80% by the looks of his steering wheel. Seems to be a bit of a stalemate so far. Well, I say so far, we've had a lot of action so far, but for now it seems to be a bit of a stalemate with not much happening. Only one DNF so far, which is good to see, as we've got 19 laps left. It's gone by pretty quick, actually. Only one safety car so far, the VSC, after we did have a bit of an incident out of Beckett's. I'm not sure what happened. Once again, someone will have to wait for stewards to see. We've got Bailey now catching up to this train, who's only 6 tenths behind on the better tyres. I mean, with a few more laps onto these mediums, these hards are really going to turn to be the priority tyre. So interesting to see how he does. Is Deluxe getting away from him a bit here? Yes, he is. If Deluxe does stay away from Gautier Le Filon for much longer, he's not going to have the DRS. Bailey gets a little bit of something by the look of it. And it looks like Gautier is going to be a bit of a sitting duck on the next DRS straights, with Bailey coming up so close behind him. The battery is not looking good for Gautier as well. I think we will have a flashing light like right on the back of his car soon. And it'll be looking like Christmas for Bailey, because Gautier is fully kicked out of the DRS chain now. It is going to mean Bailey's going to have a bit of hard work to pick back up to get there. To get close back to Deluxe. Fastest lap there for Indian Jesus. Really not much going on now. We've got Riordan still in the second deficit of Nacho. Give it a little bit longer and we might see a bit more confidence in the hard tyres for him to make a move. But at the moment everything seems to be levelled out. Bragging in the comments. One of the best PUBG players I've played with. He's annoying to play with. He's good at it. Like proper good at it. Good at Rocket League and all. Haven't actually seen him play F1. I don't think. Bailey's still getting close now, as I'm dwindling in thought, waiting for something to happen, and I think something is about to happen. Bailey's really pushing the car into turn 1. Oh, it's an awful apex. He's going to get a warning for that, 100%. And he doesn't even carry the advantage into the corner, and he's got very deep, and he's going to get switchbacked. Well, he could have got switchback, but he didn't. and he's got ahead. But now Gauthier Le Filon is going to have the DRS, but I think he's a little too far back to make it count. We've got Riordan. His gap is slowly coming closer to Nacho, but we've just seen at the top of the screen, which you've all probably looked at, waiting for me to comment on. Fandango's got a 3-second penalty already, which is going to be interesting. He is leading on pure pace at the moment. Bailey seems to be doing okay to build back up towards the front runners, but it's not looking good with a 3-second penalty. He's still got Gioshin holding similar pace to him, so very interesting late on if anyone does or doesn't get any penalties. Harvey's DNF. I think he's retired in the pits there. His car just come out and just missed that. They're actually getting close to Jay Hartnell. Jay Hartnell P7, FRL driver. Didn't have the greatest of quality, but he does seem to gain a few positions. Let's have a look at the positions gained actually. Where the hell is it? There we go. Yeah, Jay Hartnell gaining 5 at the moment, similar to Deluxey. Well, I say similar, nailed on at 5, but it's almost a bit of contact there between the two. Riordan's gained 10 positions, well, 9 but 10 now after he's just got past Nacho, as we've just missed the deltas, unfortunately. Trunders and Jay Hart. Okay, not sure what's happening there. Said they switched, but not too sure who switched for who. I missed that one. Missed a few things at the moment. There's a lot going on. It's hard to figure out what's going on when the gaps are so. There's a few gaps on the edge of the second which are bubbling up. And I think it's going to be interesting when it comes to the pit strategy. Not sure what some of the hard runners are going to do that pitted under the VSC. So I don't think they'll go to the end, and if they do, I reckon they'll be treacherous to drive on. But they have got a fresh set of mediums. Some of them do anyway. Some of them do have a fresh set of mediums to go at the end, and Bailey does. I'm not too sure about the other drivers. Not sure if they started on softs or not. We've got Nacho sticking to the back of Riordan after being overtaken. The only person actually on track to be in the DRS range. So the only person to be using at the moment, which is very interesting. Usually in league races we do commonly quite see trains, but not at the moment. And we've got G Hartwell taking a spin there. We do. He's hit the barrier. Luckily he's right next to the pit lane, so he's not got long to dwell in the misery of spinning. So hopefully he can come back out into the pits and figure something out. 5-second penalty speeding. I think that might be a retirement then by the looks of it, because he wasn't going very fast into the pit lane. Hasn't retired yet, so maybe it wasn't. Oh, he has retired. There we are. Yeah, I would have thought so. After speeding, going that short, he's left already. Well, extra position for Victor Mean. He's not too worried about that. Anything else going on? No. Digweed is just behind now. Nacho on them 10-lap old mediums. They're going to start to feel a bit loose now, I expect. Temperature's probably getting a bit high to what they usually like, especially when you're in traffic. Mazzles and Ghost Gioshin's actually in the pits. Started on the mediums, didn't pit under the safety car, and he's come in now to chuck them hards on all the way to the end. He's going to have quite an advantage over some of the early pitters at the end of the race. Oh, Wilson was at a spin. That's unfortunate. Spin at Beckett's there. Not too sure if it was any contact or not. I'm too sure if anyone was around him, but seems to have gone off there, which is not what he'd be looking for. Goshin just come out of the pits. He's going to be behind Baza Fox, just ahead of Gauthier, but Gauthier's tyres are going to be so fired up in comparison that he should be able to get past him. If Gioshin, sorry, does manage to defend this, would be quite interesting. But he's just sitting back on this straight, I think. Yeah, no DRS challenge with Digweed getting close. Not close enough for us to change what we're watching. Number 20 there for the Williams, and he's tried his hardest to late brake. probably help them get the temperatures up a little bit. Be a bit aggressive on the tyres, leading on them fronts, get them up. But yeah, not enough to warrant Gautier to be worried. Digweed close again. Oh, a bit of a moment. Close again, but he's got the unfortunate timing of being a third man in DRS train, which can really be annoying because you've got the pace and you've got the DRS to get ahead of someone, but they have the same advantage that you wish you could use on them. But they do both come into the pits now. Riordan stays out as he's on the hards. Mazzles comes in too. Is this going to cause a double stack now for Digweed? Or is Mazzles far enough ahead that it doesn't have to worry him? Let's have a look. A little bit of a delay, but nothing major at all. Look at the green line tyres. Bloody hell. Bailey jumping in positions now as people are pitting. Fandango coming out on those hards. He's got Bailey behind him. And I hope Bailey can understand that he is on the new tyres, and he does, and he takes a nice line there. Just uses all that grip. He's got the DRS as well because he's behind at the detection point, and he can take the position there nice and easy. Got some positions changing hands here as we got some more in the pits. Fandango, I mean, look at the difference of coming out the pits late. It's so crazy how low temp the tyres are when you come out, and the hards take quite a long time to heat up. So he's already been dropped out of DRS, so he's going to have to gain that advantage later on in the race, which I'm sure he'll be able to do. He seems to be keeping on similar or if better pace than Bazza in the starting laps, and he's going to have a massive advantage when it comes to tyre wear later, which will undoubtedly affect the temperatures of the tyres. Also, Bailey Fox getting a line there. I'm not too sure what was going on there. Deluxe seemed to take a pretty awkward line, but he is pitted now to get off their mediums, go to the hards. Only ones left to pit now are Riordan, and that is it now. I think everyone else is pitted. Deluxe giving me an odd delta there. As he's in the pits, game doesn't know what to say. Geosheen just breaking into the, I say just, he's gaining quite a lot of tenths there in that one corner. Nacho penalty as well, it's not going to be good in the end of the race. Riordan also, and Trunders joining them with the penalty infringements. Fandango, he's just creeping in now to the DRS of Bailey. I wonder if Bailey's going to try and push him out, but with how fresh them hards are for Fandango, he's probably already finding a pace advantage on the tyres compared to Bailey. Indian Jesus in P9, within a second of Will. Will is just 3.3 off. Very nice colour on his koi helmet there. Very common and very liked helmet design in the shot by the looks of it. But Indian Jesus is gaining on him, so his helmet's not going to matter. Oh, well, his helmet's not giving him too much luck when we're talking about it either, because he's just got a 3-second penalty. Bit of a commentator's curse maybe, but Fandango getting very close now to the back of Bailey. It looks like these hards have got such a better pace advantage, being so much fresher. I mean, Fandango is derating and Bailey is holding a decent amount of battery, about 40% by the look of the bar. So it will be interesting. Is Bailey going to use... Oh, Fandango's been a bit greedy there. And he's tried to take the inside line, thinking he can get the move done there, when all he had to do was just wait a corner and he'd have a straight to really push onto him. But now he's ruined the chance of momentum, and he's going to have to wait now for the next few straights, as he does have Geosheen just pulling along behind him, who is going to be in the mix for it too. Riordan obviously going long on his own at the front. Because he started on them hard, he's going to have to go a bit longer to make them mediums feel good all the way to the end. Fandango's getting very close now. Still derating, 6%, same as he was in the last sector. but I do expect him to be challenging into Stowe here. He does put the battery down. He doesn't have much of it to use. And Bailey goes to defend the inside. Bailey using a bit of battery, but it's not going to matter. Maybe there's a bit of aero difference in the setup now. We've got 50-50 to choose from. Can mean we see a lot of well, what is known as a terrorist setup, where lower wings means you can just get past people without ease on the straights, so I mean, you have to bother about saving battery. But awkward line there for Gio Sheen. He's making advantage of it though. He's taking the warning. He's trying to use it to his benefit. As he comes around the outside, goes to the switchback. Seems to take a really nice line there. Just can't get alongside though. Doesn't have the lateral grip. And Gio Sheen gets a penalty. Maybe he's losing a bit of anger there because yeah, I wouldn't be too happy after getting 2 warnings like that within 2 corners. And he's tried to take it down the inside. He's understeered, put the throttle down a bit too hard and given a tap to Bailey, and he's still tapping him. Please don't lock wheels, and they don't. This is going to be interesting though. He's sick enough. I knew he said a bad word. He's trying to stick a wheel up Cops, but he doesn't. Oh, he's taking awful lines here. He's really racking up the warnings. Seems to be getting aggressive, trying to make the move and stick with Fandango. Riordan has pit, by the way, and he's going to get the move here. Bailey doesn't do too much to defend. I think he knows his place when it comes to the tyre life. And he knows there's penalties involved, so as long as he can keep a decent pace compared to them, he could be looking good. Mazel's not got penalties, similar to Bailey Fox. So that'll be good towards the end of Bailey, which is going to have a massive advantage when he can drop that gap. He's got 10 laps to do so. Digweed going for a move here on the inside, somewhere where we've seen him fail before, and he doesn't make the same mistake twice, which is good to see. Turner's getting very close to Will Simbo here, and he manages to make the move. He's got the DRS, just stays behind him on the activation point. Not that matters, it will be the detection point that makes the difference, but it seems to be a simple move. I don't think Will's going to be challenging for that position again anytime soon with the tyre difference. Anything else going on up front? We've got Digweed on the back and Nacho. Getting very close. Bailey Fox almost getting dropped out there in P3. Digweed is looking for the move though. Is he going to send it here? He does. He takes a nice line though. Doesn't risk compromising the Aston Martin as he tries to take a narrow line to swing it on the inside of him into Cops. But I don't think that's where he's going to be thinking about the move. I think he's definitely waiting until after Beckett's to get that throttle planted and make the move on the AMR car. We'll have to wait and see as we come through them. Not much else going on the grid. As you can see, the deltas all pretty balanced out. A bit of a fishtail. Not the best of exits for the Alpine, but I don't think it's going to matter when you get that DRS lap open. Absolutely slams past the AMR car. Aston Martin trying to break as late as he can to stick with him, but not paid off. The Digweed ahead and into P5, just behind his teammate Mazel's now. A few seconds behind, but not too far. Fresh tyres too. Bailey Fox isn't managing to stick with him, so this it'll be interesting because he's still in the penalty range of one of them, but I don't think for too long. I think he will end up getting dropped out of those penalty ranges. So Fandango is looking good for the win so far. He's got good tyre life, five laps compared to his competitor 6:15, and then we've got Deluxe on 4 laps, the lowest of them. We've got Riordan obviously on the medium strategy. He did start on the hards, only one to really do it and go for it and get to this point of the race. So he's got about 8 laps to go of this race. It'll be very interesting to see how quick they get compared to the hards. The hards are not in a bad spot. 5 laps, 6 laps, they'll be firing off pretty nicely. So it won't be an easy task because the medium and hard deltas won't be too bad around Silverstone, I don't expect. But he should be getting an advantage. You will have a bit more lateral grip on the tyres. We've got what's going on up there as Fandango spun it. He looks to have done so. He wasn't next to anyone, so I think he's dropped it on his own, which is really unfortunate. Gioshine goes up into P1 with the penalty. Bailey Fox out of the penalty range, but doesn't matter, he still gains a position there as Fandango just dropped behind the two of them. Interesting to see what happened here after the race, but it's interesting. Don't want to call it a bottle yet, it's still a bit premature with how long we have left in the race, but that is not going to be fun for Fandango in his party. I'll tell you that now. Indian Jesus, we haven't seen much of him this race in P8. He's just keeping with Riordan, which is nice to see on the mediums. Now all these guys did start with the mediums at the start of the race. So they would have dealt with higher fuel loads, so the mediums would have worn a bit easier, so Riordan's got a bit of a nicer trip in this race too. I think that's real simple in the pits, is it? No, he's had a bit of a spin, he's in P13. Not going to be enjoying that too much in the party. I've lost my train of thought now, but yeah, Indian Jesus we haven't seen too much of. But he's holding decently well to Riordan on them mediums. Oh, Nathan, not long before I thought I was going to see a move then. Indian Jesus was gaining quite a bit of speed there. Nathan did say Fandango could win this very early, just before we did see that spin from Fandango, or Momo. I'm not sure if he did take a full spin, but we'll see in the Discord at the end. Riordan getting very close to Nacho now, trying to fish out this P6. Indian Jesus is still holding well though. I mean, 17 laps, same pitted at the same time with the man running in P2, Bailey Fox. But I'm curious to how they're going to hold for too long. Riordan getting very, very close now. Is he going to try and send this? No, he thinks better of it. Takes a nice apex. He knows he's got the tyres, so he just has to be patient. But he might be struggling to think about patience when he's got that Mercedes right up his win res, and I think he's doing so as he goes side by side with Indian Jesus into Cops. How's this going to play out? Riordan's going to have more grip on them tyres, but the outside line, he's not carried enough momentum. Oh, nice penalty. A lot of people getting caught out with some of these apexes in the last sector. I think he's going to get the move done, but he has got a penalty for it, and he's not going to get the move done. He's got a battery for it, and he's going to be getting moved on by the Mercedes. So interesting. 17 lap all hards on 4 lap mediums. Oh, and he's giving Indian Jesus a bit of a tap there. I won't be on that. Fandango getting right on the rear of Bailey now. He's picking up the time so easy with I mean 10 lap younger tyres is just massive. You can't really go bad with younger tyres. Well, I guess you can because we just saw Riordan do it. But I don't think Riordan's tyres are too bad. He was holding decent pace. I just think his lack of battery just sold him short there. Maybe a bit of frustration getting the penalty as well, not driving to his desired standard. Now, are we going to see Indian Jesus try and make a move here? We might, but we're going to go back to Fandango and Bailey, because this move will happen, I think, first. And it does. Not too much to see about this one, so I'm going to go back to Indian Jesus. There's no way Indian Jesus makes a move on a 10 lap yet older tyres, but he's taken a decent line through Max and Beckett's. I think he's a bit too far out for this one though. He hasn't got the battery advantage either, so I think that's going to be a bit stalemate for now. Now this will be interesting for Bailey because he's got 4 laps left, 5 including the current. is he going to be able to keep within 2.5 seconds more of Fandango to take P2? At the moment he's sitting sweet with a P3, but he's still getting gained on by Mazzles in P4 in the Ever Alpine. Indian Jesus is dropping Riordan a bit. Riordan's really struggling with the mediums. I wonder if his tyre temps are being a bit worrying for him. He's not holding good pace on their mediums, which you expect him to do. They're only 6 laps old. I know they can be. I know they can last a lot shorter than expected now in this game, close patches. But I think they'd be doing better than this, surely. Still Simbo jumped on the mediums. He's not got much to race for at the moment. He's a minute down from P12. Unfortunately, a few spins for him. Not sure if anyone was in contact with him or he was just on his own, but he's happening now. He's got to get on with that. Engine Jesus still within that 5/10 margin to Nacho. No moves looking to be made there. Riordan in the same bracket there, but look, he's getting dropped a bit, so he must be struggling with some temp issues. Sorry for me, my little dog barking, he's all rat. I tried to shut the door, but it swung open because of the wind. I'll tell you what, Indian Jesus is doing very well to hold this pace. In the last and first sector, he's gaining obviously on the DRS. He does drop a bit in the more technical corners. It's not going to matter though, because Nacho's had a big moment, and Indian Jesus has gone ahead. He doesn't have a penalty, so he's going to go ahead anyway. But look at the gap he's already gained after Nacho's mistake, and it's really put Riordan in a pickle, because I think he might have had to slow down to warrant Nacho's mistake there. Indian Jesus is out of DRS. Is he seriously going to push out on tyres double the life of Nacho's? He's actually building the gap as well. Insane. Indian Jesus doing really well then on his tyres, similar to Bailey Fox who's in P3. Riordan getting close. This could be a chance for him to make a move finally. They're both on penalties, so this does actually count for finishing position. Whoever finishes first on track. He's just not got a battery for it though. And Nacho does. Nacho's held it pretty well. So apart from that mistake for Nacho, he would have been looking alright. He's such a little rat, my dog, by the way. I hope you can't hear him, but if you can, I apologise. Riordan, very close again on Nacho, but he's just not got the battery. He's not even saving under braking, so I wonder if he's using it in awkward spots, short straights, where it's not an advantage, or he's just got too much aero and he just cannot build the battery under the braking with the friction of the brakes. See, it'd be at points like this we can see the green lighting up on his wheel. You'd want to save it, because he's used it all there again and it's not helped him make a move. You're not going to when you're derating and you know that the person ahead isn't, so you just need to lose the extra tenth or two on the straight and just try and save it a little bit to go for those last moves. So he's a bit closer coming into the last straight now than he was last time. Will Simple, I think he's letting someone through there. He's on softs. Looks like he's going for the fastest lap on the last lap of this race. Sorry for the interruptions and short breaks. I'm just talking to someone in my room. Mazzle's getting very close to Bailey now. So Bailey's Indian Jesus is Bailey looking. The overspeed is out out of this world for the Alpine. He's not got a penalty, and Fandango has absolutely walked away from Bailey on them 22 lap old hards. You can physically see the graining on the edge of those tyres. You can see the black from the grey from where Bailey's been leaning on them just constantly and chipping away at that rubber. I mean, he could even be in for a puncture. I'm not too sure if he's in range. I can't really tell. But I mean, you'd think at 22 laps they might be near, you know, especially. Oh, I thought. I think everyone's okay. Love-chat.xyz. Best adult dating site. Thumbs up. Sexual sign. Tick mark. Heart eyes. Respect. Yeah. Oh. Someone want to remove them or keep them on you. Not harming anyone, anyway. Well, Mazzles have walked away from Bailey on them tyres. Has he got? No, I thought he was going to go in slow there because I'll punch it, but I think he's okay. I think the best he was going to get on this strategy is going to be P4 with these three at the front pulling away. We got Riordan finally getting close enough to Natural where he can try and make a move, but he just hasn't got the battery again. 6% every time we look at him. It's an absolute curse for him. And he has, to be fair to him, he has put Nacho down on his ERS. We've been seeing Nacho hold a fairly decent 40% and will finally get something to go his way today. Gets the fastest lap later on into the session on the second to last lap, penultimate. Let's see if he can better it again for himself. Just to keep him occupied as he is lapped, I think. Distances are so washed out that we've missed actually Gio Sheen winning the race. So we've got Gio winning the race for Williams. We've got Fandango taking P2. Mazzles isn't close enough to get into the penalty range, but he takes the final spot on the podium. Bailey is going to crawl across on them dreaded tyres to take P4. I think he'll be a little bit annoyed that he couldn't gain more than that, but I think strategy call on his own has caused the disadvantage he's taken in the last section of the race. Digweed takes P5, Nacho comes across for P6, Riordan comes across for P7, also has a penalty, so won't be doing anything. Deluxy comes across for P8. Indian Jesus crosses for P9 prematurely, but jumps to P8 after a penalty for Deluxy. Gautier Le Filon crosses out in P10. Trunders, wow, we missed that. Look at that, 0.068 across the line. I'm not sure if that's on. I wouldn't think it's on penalties because they were right next to each other when they crossed the line. So. Very close to him. Victor Mean comes across for P12. And Will. Oh, look at that! It's raining. Rain on the last lap. That's interesting. I wonder if that is what made people go to the hards, thinking there would be wet weather at the end. That might have been the reason for people pitting under the VSC, knowing there's weather to come. And Will crosses the line for P13. And that'll round out our race there. 13 finishes out of 16. Not too bad. Could have been better. There's a few different issues across the track that we didn't really catch, which we will end up seeing in the stewards report. My voice is absolutely gone. I haven't stopped talking for the last hour. 7 win goes to Williams. It does. I'm glad because I am the Williams constructor. So big ups. Some people. My family have just come through the door, so they've probably all chucked on their Wi-Fi or whatever crap they're doing. But that rounds it out. 6th to 1st, really not a bad race for him at all. He'll definitely be happy with that. Fandango started first, finishes second. He did have a poor run off the start line. Mazzles P3 for Alpine. Bailey and Digby ran out of top 5. Nacho Riordan, Indian Jesus, Deluxy, Gautier Furlion rounding off the top 10. Trunders 11th, Victor Mean 12th, and last of the finishers, only one to be lapped, unfortunately, is my mate Will Simbo 7. Not the best of races for him. Then we got the DNFs of Jay Hartnell, Harvey, and Warrior Huntsman all retiring prematurely to the race. And look at the strategies there. We got 1 4-stop for Will. And then a lot of people just going for the 2-stop there. So we had a few people pitting under the VSC. A lot of them coming a bit lower in the ranks because of the amount of wear they had to deal with to the end of the race. But that'll be it, I think. Very well done to all the drivers today. It's been a decent innings for the first race. Hopefully we see a bit more attendance going on to round 2. I'm not too sure where round 2 is. But there will be races on Thursday. I think. I'm honestly clueless. I need to fix up on this shit. Ooh, whoops. Right. Anyways, I'm gonna call it there for the stream. Thank you for watching, and we will see you for Tier 2 and Tier 1 in the coming days. Thank you very much.